Alright guys, so I have decided to make a proper guide and to divide the guide into multiple segments that will then be put into a single playlist. The reason why I'm doing this is simply because several patches have made my previous guides fairly quickly outdated, leading to questions from people like why does this not work anymore, etc. So instead, I'm going to cut up all the info into bite-sized portions and then spread them out over several videos. This will allow for you to check out certain sections you are most interested in, and for me to take out a segment that is outdated and to replace it with a new video with updated information, keeping the guide somewhat dynamic and up to date without having to redo the whole thing over and over. So yeah, with that introduction and explanation out of the way, let's just start somewhere and make this guide as complete as we can. Of course, if you think something is missing, or have additional tips or questions that I failed to answer in the video overall, feel free to drop it down below in the comment section. I do ask that you place the comments under the correct video, so for example, don't put advice about mutations under a video that is not dedicated towards mutations. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, let's start out with your stats. The Raptor is a 450 kilogram dinosaur, effectively giving it 450 HP. It has a bite force of 65 and it can run 46.8 kilometers an hour. Your ability to jump costs 5% stamina, and your ability to initiate a pounce also costs 5% stamina. When pouncing another creature, you also lose stamina over time for the duration you are latched on. So that brings us to ask, what are all the things a raptor can do? I will be using the default keys to explain it. If you have changed your controls, then please keep that in mind. But there are various attacks and actions you can perform. For starters, it has the ability to jump using the spacebar, and you are slightly less affected by fall damage, meaning you can drop from greater heights than other dinosaurs can without taking damage. That said though, it is not crazy much, so don't go jumping off a cliff on my account. You can use the normal bite using your left mouse button, and you can bite alternatively called an alt bite by holding down alt and then using your left mouse button. A small note on this, if you're automatically using the alt bite, then open up your settings, navigate towards the gameplay tab, and check the box behind manual alt bite. I actually highly recommend you check this box if you haven't already, as the game has it unchecked by default, and it can make combat very stiff for you where you cannot bite freely without getting stuck in an animation lock. Another thing you can do while using the normal bite is the ability to perform a kick or upwards lunging bite. These attacks have to be combined with a jump, and while in mid-air, you can either look your camera up or down to perform the kick or the lunge. You look up to perform the lunging bite using the left mouse button. The lunging bite, for example, is useful for things like pteranodons trying to peck at you. And the kick is great if you're trying to crash land into a target without latching on or making any sound of approach, because when you're in midair you don't make running sounds. Both of these attacks inflict the same damage as a normal bite, and they sadly don't do any extra damage. Your main mechanic, the pounce. Using the right mouse button, you can perform the pounce attack. It will send you flying through the air, and if you hit another dinosaur with it on the flanks or its rear, you will latch on or pin them down. And that's it for the basics. Of course, this is just a segment, so check out the next video in the playlist if you wish to learn more about pouncing and grappling.